Exactly! Our meeting with Van isn't for a while. Check on her? What? Oh no. Escoffier, are you...
I'm fine. Just need to get some more coffee in me. Huh? What happened to my coffee? Did I really drink it all? Alright. Thanks. I appreciate it.
Well, there's cooking facilities here. Or we could just grab a cup of coffee from Cafe Lutece, but either way, hurry!
Hello! What can I get for you? Sure thing. We're here to go. Huh? Oh, I see. First cup of the season. Yeah, I get it. Yep.
Coffee. I smell coffee. I feel much better now. Thank you so much, Traveler and Paimon.
Glad to hear it, but make sure to catch up in your sleep when you get the chance.
I think I figured out where the problem lies. Honestly, it's ridiculous.
Wait, what investigation?
I'll save it for when everyone else gets here. It's so stupidly small. I can't believe it's caused so much drama. Yes, except my...
Escoffier! Have you seen Savannah?
Huh? No, not since yesterday. Why? What's wrong?
After seeing her home yesterday, we were all a little concerned about how she was doing. So, only to find an empty house with the doors. What? I left Alphonse and the others to keep watch at her home, while I checked the Hotel de Bord. I'm worried something bad might have happened. If she's not here, then...
Boss, Escoffier!
Alphonse? You're supposed to be keeping...
We were, but then, just after you left, we found this...
Oh, looks like a map with a bunch of random
Wait a second. This feels familiar. Of course, from the Codex. They're all places that Modeste explored on his adventures. Yeah, but I don't understand. The adventure logs in the Codex are too fragmented to be of any...
The Codex de Bord? Then, this place marked in red out at sea.
Seriously? So now she set her sights on finding the original recipe and beating us...
Ugh, idiot. Does she have a death wish? Those ruins are thousands of years old.
Hold on. There's more. Besides the map, we also found these letters.
It was you. You let the Lumaline through. It sounds like a threat letter. Does this mean that Savannah was responsible for the safety incident?
Retrieve the Codex by any means necessary. So the cooking contest and the cheating. Someone else was behind her pulling the strings?
She's keeping the true
Ugh, this is all such a mess. Paimon needs a second. First, we thought that Savannah forced Monica to cheat in the cooking contest. But now, it turns out that someone else forced Savannah to force Monica to cheat?
You're finally here. Of course. I should have put two and two together as soon as I read your threat letter. The food safety incident. The demand, even the suggestion that Escoffier was keeping secrets from me. It was all part of your grand plan, wasn't it?
We should be getting close to the spot marked on the map.
Of all the stupid things she's done, this really takes the cake. The moment we find her, I'm gonna curse the living daylights out of her.
Whoa, this place looks like an underwater restaurant, doesn't it? Suddenly the idea of it...
I think Modest's codex mentioned this place. A public bath from the time of Remoria. So yeah, definitely the kind of place that would have served food and drink.
Huh? Some blubber beasts have come to join the party? How did they get here? Aw, they ran off!
That could be easier said than done. Something's blocking the entrance.
Well, did Modeste mention it in his adventure logs by any chance? They must have...
Good point.
We prepared a banquet for our shy little guests, and as the food flowed away on the current, they broke into a joyous chorus, and the path opened to us.
We have to feed the blubber beasts? With what? There's nothing here besides rocks, maritime... See, this is why you should always bring snacks. You never know when you're gonna need them. Now we have to head all the way back to shore and grab some.
There's no time for that. Maritime flowers and Lumitoile will have to do. They may not look appetizing to us, but who knows? They could be blubber beast delicacies.
Wait. Blubber beasts or not, are we...
Trust me, they'll love it.
Oh, good question. If we try to put them in the pool, we'll probably just scare them off again, and who...
Yes, we can't afford to wait for them to double back. Oh, what was it that Modeste said again?
Wow, it's really singing! It must taste better than Paimon thought!
turned back again. Ugh, so annoying. Hey, it's open!
Hey, give me your water.
Here.
I said your water, the one you just drank out of?
Sure.
All those years slaving away under Escoffier, and then you. Today, not only have I found the ruin that Savelli kept hidden, but I also get to boss you around like my Hey, go scout ahead for me. If we need to do any more blast tunneling, I want to know where to lay the Did you not hear me? Get going.
Why don't you do it yourself?
Oh, when did you learn to fight back? You're always so compliant when I give you instructions by letter.
That's because you threatened to expose me for the Lumiline incident. I swear, if I'd known what you were planning, I'd never have—
Ha! Don't be so self-righteous. Admit it, you've always been jealous of Escoffier. That's why you left. You were terrified of her finding out about your part in the Lumiline incident, and you resented the way her reputation hung. So you jumped at the chance to convince yourself that she was the villain, that she deliberately hid her secret recipes from you just to hold you back. First, idolization, then jealousy, suspicion, and self-deception. That's what this comes down to. It was the same story with Savelli and my— He offered Modeste his friendship, only to murder him out of vanity. He promised to explore the world with him, only to later destroy all records of their adventures. It's a miracle I even found this place. You have no idea the countless hours I— So you see, you're no better than Savelli.
I am no Savelli, nor will I—
Oh, put a lid on it. You really think you can absolve yourself of your vindictive and jealous behavior now? Just because you finally realize that you didn't show any remorse when she left, or in the cooking contest. Why start now? You have no—
You're right. I don't deserve her forgiveness. But I am done.
Ooh, feisty. But you should watch—
I somehow doubt that. Since I poisoned both our water—
What?
Ever since I learned the truth. I've been biding my time, waiting for this moment. You've played me like a fiddle for so long!
But you drank it too!
It's what we both deserve. This is the price we must pay for betraying Escoffier. You'll die here with me, Monica!
You.
What's—
Oh, you're too much. I thought I'd play along for a bit just to amuse myself. You gave a I saw your dumb plan a mile off. There's no poison in these bottles, just—
No!
Revenge is a dish best served cold, you know? You're a lousy chef, and you make a lousy villain, too. A complete waste of space.
Everything I ever did was a failure. And now—
Hey, why don't you try your hand at being a comedian in your next life? You got a good laugh out of me. But now you should have just done like I asked, Savannah. All I wanted you to do was scout the ruins for me, but you—
Stop right there!
Let her go, Monica. We've got—
Escoffier?
Ugh, looks like I'll have to keep you around for a little longer.
You can't! Stay back if you want her alive!
Escoffier and the Traveler. I can't take you both on in combat.
Monica, what are you hoping to achieve by this? You're about to...
A recipe! You chefs are all blinded by your...
Modeste had a secret. The truth behind his so-called genius, the je ne sais quoi factor in his Gâteau de Bourg. And it's right here in these ruins.
Are you serious? You're here because of a Gâteau de Bourg?
I couldn't care less about the cake itself.
No, the real treasure is the secret. He and Savelli were fools. A priceless treasure of Remoria in the palms of their hands. And they thought, ooh, this would go great. We're talking about a powerful stimulant that also sharpens the senses. That's no cooking ingredient. It's a groundbreaking drug. That's right. I've done my research. It was a drug that Remoria developed for their war machine. I could make a killing by selling it to the treasure hoarders or the
Will you listen to yourself? You're completely deluded.
My eyes are wide open. Just wait till I get my hands on this treasure.
Wait, what's that sound?
Just when I thought she couldn't get any crazier. She's lucky the whole place didn't collapse.
Uh-oh, Savannah's gone too!
Monica must have taken her. Oh, what a coward. She's only taken her hostage because she knows that she's no match for you.
That's true. Even if she finds the treasure, she'll need Savannah alive if she wants to get out of here in one piece.
Oh, well, our path's been blocked, so let's look for another route. The water looks pretty deep here. Maybe it leads somewhere. They were probably awakened by the explosion just now. Alright, Knife Skills 101. Time for some rough chopping. Attack frosting! Show no fear. Another door? Guess we need to prepare another feast for our guests. It seems to really like the texture of Rome maritime flowers. Up to the up to the freezer. I never knew you could process Lumitwol like that. Or Alright, I've got to jot this down. Limitols and maritime flowers. This could open the door to a whole new world.
Yep, that's literally the plan. Wait, hold on. Which door are you talking about?
That's strange. These don't look Romorian to me. More like last century Fontaine.
Adventurers from last century Fontaine, huh? Oh, Modeste and Savelli!
By the looks of it, this was a one-person camp. They adventured together, but maybe one of them came back alone at a later date. Huh, you really think so?
Trust our adventurers' instincts. We're pros at this stuff, just like you're a pro in the kitchen. Okay, well, the Traveler has more adventuring experience overall, but Paimon's definitely... Darn it! Paimon was just about to show off her rummaging skills!
Huh, no kidding. Are all adventurers so obsessed with journaling? I mean, I guess I take a lot of notes when I'm cooking as well.
Anyway, let's find out who was here.
It's been years since I've last visited these ruins. It's exactly the way I remember it. This place probably hasn't changed in millennia. Sadly, up above, the treasure of Remoria. That's what we used to call it. Modeste was right about its potential. Our limited stock of the substance meant that the gâteau could only be produced on a small scale. But this only drove up the popularity all the more. Modeste was right about that too. He was praised as a genius, while I, as the one person who'd ever disagreed with him, was labeled a talentless fool. Modeste tried his best to console me, but I knew better than anyone just how great the gulf was between. Our conversations grew scarce, and we saw less and less of each other. I didn't fight it. He had new friends and a career of his own. Why invite? I told myself that maybe one day, when I finally created a masterpiece of my own, I'd be able to face him. Or maybe one day, when I've put these feelings of self-loathing behind me, I'd be able to ask him with a smile on my face, how about we go on one more adventure, for old time's sake? Unfortunately, that day...
So it was Savelli. From the sounds of it, he came...
I always thought it was just a legend. But if it's true, then this must be the place where they found their secret ingredient. The birthplace...
In that case, what does that say about the death of Modeste? If it's all true...
The taste of Gâteau de Bourg has changed. Modeste was convinced of this. Even though everyone swore that being the perfectionist that he was, he refused to accept even the slightest flaw in his work. He stopped all sales of the product, but as he baked and taste tested over and over again, it was only when he was sipping on coffee one day and realized he could not taste the bitterness that the truth finally dawned on him. The treasure of Remoria stimulates the senses, taste included, and invigorates the spirit. In the short term, in hindsight, it made perfect sense. After all, why would a culture that sought liberation from the constraints of their bodies care for the loss of their senses? But we realized, over the course of his many culinary experiments, Modeste exhausted the remaining supply of the treasure of Remoria. He consumed it all himself. The finest culinary talent of his generation now faced a future in which he would never be able to taste anything ever again. Finally, in despair, and because we had become estranged, I could not be there to stop him, to offer some words of comfort, or even to say goodbye. Yet despite everything, he sent me his final letter.
The treasure of Remoria? Guess Monica was really onto something. It really was a kind of drug.
So, Modeste chose to end his own life. Then, why all the rumors that Savelli murdered him? Also, neither the Codex nor any other contemporary records make any mention of the treasure of Remoria. It's almost as if someone deliberately...
Modeste told me everything in his final letter. His was a tale of how even a genius could fail, and how much more devastating it is when it happens. Did he hope I would gain some personal catharsis from knowing the truth? Or maybe he wished for me to warn the public about the dangers of Gâteau de Bourg, proving that I had been right all along. But if the public ever learned how Modeste's greatest triumph became his undoing, his fall from, what would be his legacy then? How would future generations view everything we built together? I fear the scorn I have faced these last years would pale in comparison to the scorn shown to him by the history books. I cannot let that come. I will do what I must to protect his name. It will mean tampering with his note. It may lead his family to suspect me of having a hand in his demise. But if that's the price of destroy, I would rather the world believe a tale of genius and jealousy than see his reputation in tatters. The final loose end is the evidence here, at the bottom of the sea.
Huh? What's wrong? Didn't we say Savannah should be safe for—
So we thought, but if Monica finds out what happened to the treasure, there's no telling what she might do.
The treasure of Remoria. I have found you at Savelli, you tried your best to bury the truth, but you underestimated the children of Modeste. Some fragments of his diary escaped. But I have to thank you too, Savannah. Without your help retrieving the codex, and with it the last piece of the puzzle, I may never have found— But now, finally, the secret to Remoria's military might is within my grasp. The treasure of Remoria is— Oh, it's...
Monica? Oh, we were seconds too late.
Escoffier? What's the deal with that?
Savelli's final act! He wanted to conceal the secret of the treasure forevermore and make— So he came here after his friend's death and destroyed every last shred that remained.
This can't be happening. All the years I spent piecing together the truth. All that for an empty job.
Monica, don't do anything stupid. This ruin is more dangerous than—
Oh, shut your pie hole!
Praise be to Lord. You barbarian shall be slain.
She's a nutcase! A liability to herself and everyone else. Well, now it's up to us to clean up the mess she's made. Take these golems out. Show no fear.
Why is this place still shaking? Either way, it's all her fault. Enough chit-chat. Let's get out of here, traveler.
Okay, I'm coming.
Oh, no you don't. If I can't get what I want, neither will any of you. I've got nothing to show for my life's work so far. But if I can take another so-called genius down with me in my final moment, then it was all worth it.
You're a psycho.
Savannah? When did you... What? I may be a lousy chef, but it looks like I'm not a complete waste of space.
Traveler?
Escoffier! Savannah!
Traveler!
Venejem, what are you all doing here?
What did you expect us to do? Stay at the restaurant and sit on our merry derrieres? What?
We had to do something. Even though that something ended up being, well, waiting for.
I don't deserve any of you. It was my fault Escoffier had to leave. Then I couldn't live up to her standards. Come back, Escoffier.
Okay, so everything I said to you the day I left, it just went in one ear and...
Huh? Sorry, I was kinda in my own head at the time. All I could think about was the Lumiline situation.
Forget it. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I didn't leave this job because if you were that bad, why would all your staff show up here for you?
Escoffier's right. Sure, you nitpick our work and get us to do things over a lot. But when it comes down to it, you're the one who's...
Things were pretty rough after Escoffier left. And Savannah's the only reason we've been able to make it through.
Our customers know that Escoffier doesn't work for us anymore. But the fact is, they keep coming back. If that's not an endorsement of your work, at the end of the day, we're all human, and we all make mistakes. All we can do is recognize where we get it wrong, and...
No, I get what you're saying, but what I did to Firmin...
Well, about that, there's someone else here to see you, Chef.
It's been a while, Chef Savannah.
Firmin? I'm so sorry. I put far too much pressure on you. And the way I stubbornly refused to go and see you after you fell... But... I'm too late, aren't I? The damage is done. I heard...
Actually, I think I'm going to be...
Huh?
We thought Firmin's problem was purely psychological in nature. But after the threat letter came to light, it got Firmin thinking. And then he remembered, and as it turns out...
No way! Doesn't that cause nerve damage?
It can. High doses pose a risk of serious nervous and sensory complications. But if you calculate, a small dose might simply make a person more emotional. Whether that means more fragile...
No wonder it seemed like you'd lost.
I asked my friends at the Fontaine Research Institute about it. They said that with the low dose I was taking, the risks are pretty small. They also fixed me up with some meds and said, well, that's what happens when you give someone a little bit of hope to cling on to.
There's... more.
You mean...
Oh, so that's why Savannah's been so irritable this whole time.
Let's not be too quick to blame everything on the Lumiline. That stuff can only amplify what's already there. So tasty food will seem like the most... So you better make sure you reflect on your behavior and apologize to every single person you've wronged.
I will. I'm sorry. There's still one question that's really bugging me. Why is it? Is it just...
It's because the heating element in your oven is broken, you silly goose.
What?
I felt like something was off during the cooking contest. Once I got around to checking all the equipment, I noticed it right away. There was a half-degree discrepancy. All the ovens in the whole kitchen had the same problem, which confused me at the time, but by this point, it's pretty obvious that I would have figured it out the day of the bake-off, since the issue affected both our teams. But of course, Monica sabotaged mine so that could never happen.
No. I spent so long trying to find out where I was going wrong, and then you pinpoint the problem. It all comes back to one simple, undeniable truth.
Oh, cut it out! Stop the woe is me act for a second and just think. I came up with this recipe. Do you know how long I spent perfecting my gâteau de bois? 3 years! 3 whole years! And you've been head chef now for what, 6 months? If that? A couple hundred failed attempts, and you're gonna throw in the kitchen towel? You clearly have no idea how many kitchen failures I've had under my belt. Or just how long it took. Genius or not, everyone makes mistakes. Modeste did, Savelli did. You're only a lousy chef if you don't face up to your mistakes. Learn from them and then keep... Surely you haven't forgotten all that. You were no lousy chef back when
I haven't forgotten.
That's our head.
Haha! Sounds like we won't need another change.
Aw, what a perfect ending to a crazy journey.
So you got your mojo back now?
Yeah. Thanks to you, Escoffier.
Aw, friends again. So nice to see them finally settle their beef.
Good. So now that's out of the way. It's time for payback. You cheated in our last bake-off, and I demand a rematch right now.
But that was mostly Monica's fault, wasn't it?
Right. And also, does it have to be right now? Savannah's only just got her
No excuses. This is a cooking contest between two top chefs, and nothing will stand in its way. So grab your spatula and get ready, because this rematch is happening today, right now.
Hey, so, this whole time you were salty?
The second cooking contest commences now!
This time, no more games, and no holding back!
I feel like I don't have the right to be here.
Hey, what are you so afraid of? You can't unbake it now. And if you don't serve it, then good or bad, you'll never find out how to improve. If you're too scared to fail, you'll never know what real success tastes like. So?
Embrace your failure. Taste it. Digest it. That's the way to success.
I don't know. Sounds like it's easier said than done.
I'll do it.
The results are in! A landslide victory for Escoffier!
Quite rightly, too. Piece of cake.
Oh yeah, look at that! Savannah looks pretty chipper too, considering she lost.
Now, where were we? Yes. Do you have any more questions for me after everything that's... I thought Navia would have filled you in. And actually, I said all this to Savannah before I left. Although, I had two reasons for leaving. One was the food safety incident, of course. But the other was that the Hotel de Boer had reached a point where... So I decided to step down and look for new opportunities to improve myself.
Improve how?
Well, a while back, I got to know a fellow chef from Niue. And in her, I saw so many new possibilities. She has that same adventurous spirit that Modeste and Sibeli had in their youth. Slime mucus, lizard tails. With her, nothing's off the table. There's a whole world of new flavors out there waiting to be explored, hiding away in ingredients. Case in point, remember those Romaritime flowers down in the ruins? I used them in the cooking contest just now.
What? Paimon didn't notice at all?
Half of the art of cooking is dissecting the recipes of previous chefs and figuring out the exact and the other half, it lies in freeing yourself from the confines of the kitchen. You've got to go out and explore.
Uh-oh. Paimon's suddenly not sure she wants to try your cooking anymore. Hey!
Don't worry, it's not gonna be a free-for-all like in Modeste's time. Before I put in the meantime, take this. It's a recipe for Petit Gâteau de Bourg revised version. I tweaked it to suit your needs as busy adventurers. Hope you enjoy, and remember, feedback is always—
All right! So, do you ever see yourself returning to Hotel de Bourg?
Oh, of course. I've already promised Vanisham that I'll come back every once in a while to make sure the quality of the food remains at an acceptable level.
You know, Paimon's still a little disappointed that we never got to see the treasure of Remoria. Surely Monica wouldn't have gotten drawn in so deeply if it wasn't for all the mystery surrounding the original She practically dedicated her life to finding the lost pieces of Modeste's diary. Then went to all that trouble to infiltrate the Hotel de Bourg. And in the end, it was all for nothing.
Since you mentioned the treasure, between Modeste's writings and what we saw in those ruins, I think I may have figured out the truth. The so-called treasure of Remoria was most likely a substance that the Remorians extracted from Lumitoiles, better known to us as Lumiline.
Huh? So then, why all the hype back in the
Don't forget, it was a very different era. We could barely even refine sugar back then, so desserts were very much in their infancy. In a world of bland food, it's no wonder that the first thing to really excite people's taste— And as for the Lumiline, it may well have been somewhat valuable in ancient times. But these days, it's just another drug from the Fontaine research. Even if Savelli hadn't destroyed it all, I doubt it would be worth that much these days.
So after all that, there was nothing. In the— Feels strange to say it, but Paimon almost feels sorry for Monica. She sacrificed it all only to get nothing in return.
Hey! Huh? Navia?
You just got back from that underwater ruin, right? Well, check it out. Did you see anything like this down there? Freshly unearthed from the ruins of Remoria. A magnificent jar Experts say it has immense artistic and historical value.
Wait! Isn't that the jar they used the whole—
If only it was still in one piece. Some butter—